If you would please remain standing, we will have our invocation for tonight's game. Our invocation tonight will be by pastor of the First Baptist Church, Reverend Dan Quirk.
That was real good.
Our most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, as we approach the throne of grace one more time this day, we thank you, Father, for your mercy. We thank you, God, for watching down upon each and every one of us today. Father, I pray that you might watch down tonight upon each young man that plays here tonight. I pray, God, that none would be hurt. I pray that each one would play to their capability tonight. And Lord, I pray that you would just keep the fans under control. And I pray tonight, Heavenly Father, Lord, that if there's one lost, that they might realize that they need to be saved. It's everlasting too late. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
In the home of the brave. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take Happy Chandler's spot, man. Sing Old Kentucky Home, Kentucky Louisville play.
That'd be great.
See, that right there is to cut out crowd noise where I can hear her better.
I see. Modern technology.
Yeah, outstanding. What? Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll be coming to the open here, Marcus. Welcome, everyone, to the Evarts High School football field where the Corbin Redhounds, with a mark of 3-1 on the season, get set to take on the Wildcats of Evarts, also with a mark of 3 wins against 1 loss on the year. Both these teams were defeated last week. Corbin knocked off at home by Glasgow by a final score of 26-21, and the Wildcats of Lincamp upended Evarts by a final score of 20-0. In a football game, Burley Foley understand where Evarts had a case of the fumbleitis.
Well, I understand they had 5 turnovers in that game, but I also understand that part of those turnovers were made because Lincamp was really hitting a pretty good lick in there. And again, you know, Lincamp's no slouch. Evarts lost to a pretty good football team.
We understand that Matt Phillips will be kicking for Corbin tonight. He will not be playing in the backfield. He still is injured somewhat. Burley will set the offensive starters for you coming up here in just a second, as soon as we get some time, because right now we're just about ready for the opening kickoff. Well, it's another Friday night of football. Just kind of kick back and relax and enjoy the broadcast here on T107. Dave King, Burley Foley here in the booth, and down on the field will be Bill Sloan as usual, and Tim Dudley on the stats. He'll also be keeping the stats for Scott Russell and see how many yards Russell picks up tonight. He needs 832 yards to pass Mark Higgs. Of course, he won't get those tonight. Certainly, we would hope not. And he needs 832 yards, and we'll keep a tally on him for you. Back to receive for Evarts will be number 42, Brad Kirby, number 44, Scott Russell, and the short man will be number 20, Terry Stelling. Phillips is ready to kick. Corbin in the white uniforms, Evarts in the blue and gold, and we're ready. Phillips gets the kick. It's going to be fielded. Finally going to be picked up by number 11, Jay Snelling. He gets to the middle of the field and runs hard across the 25-yard line and goes down there. It'll be 1st and 10 from near the 25 for the Wildcats of Evarts. And this football game is underway.
Brian Mulberry hustling down on the kickoff team to make that stop for Corbin. Evarts with not great field position here to start the game, Dave. I understand they don't throw the ball a lot. They try to, of course, run with Russell, and understandably so, being the big numbers that he's put up.
So it's going to be 1st and 10. Let's call it the 26-yard line for Evarts. Of course, in the backfield, they'll line it up, looks like, in the wishbone. Back there is Scott Russell. Brad Kirby's also back there. The handoff, though, is going to go to number 42, that is Brad Kirby. And Kirby for a gain of around 3 yards on the play before he goes down.
Kirby's a good back also, David. He carried the football more times last year than did Scott Russell.
So that says something about him. Yeah, a lot of people, you know, they talk about Scott Russell, and he does get a lot of the attention, but Brad Kirby, like Burley just pointed out, is also a guy that can hurt you. Wideout goes to the left side. That is number 85 for Evarts. We'll check his number for you. The ball is bobbled on the snap. It goes back to Russell. He's got some room. He's across the 35 up to the 39, 40-yard line, and finally going to be brought down there by Pat McCowan.
It was just a quick pitch to the left side, and Russell just tried to utilize his speed. He did a great job of cutting back up in against the grain, and that's what they say he does real well, that he is quick and he can cut pretty good. I'll check the defense for you now as Brian Mulberry is in there at one linebacker along with Chris Shackelford. Also in there is Mark Mims at end. The tackles are Mabe and Fisher. The nose guard is Sargent.
Wide out to the right side, the far side of the field. The pitchback is going to go to Kirby. He cuts it upfield to the 40, 45-yard line. Extremely difficult to tell where actually the yard line is, but he is at the 50-yard line. That's going to be close for another first down for the Evarts Wildcats. So Evarts showing that they can, at least here in the early going, move the football on the ground against Corbin.
Wally Fortney's in there at linebacker. In the secondary is Jason Eastep, Eddie Pierce, Patrick McCowan, and Jason Gooden.
Quarterback for Evarts is number 10, Tim Browning. He's a sophomore, 6 foot 4 inches, 165 pounds. And once again, straight up the middle with the football goes the Wildcats for a gain of about 3 yards. That will be enough for the first down. That'll bring up a 1st and 10 for Evarts. Needed about a half yard for the first. 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line.
Evarts very similar to Corbin offensively in the fact that they do like to run the football, and the reason for that is they have the 2 good running backs, and you know Corbin's defense is being tested here early.
And the Hounds in the early going bending just a bit. Little confusion by Evarts on the offense. You're going to line it up now in the wishbone. The handoff is going to go to Russell. He is just really hit hard at the line, but still powers his way across the 45 and on down to the 44-yard line. Eddie Pearson on that tackle for Corbin. Also, Wesley Fortney was there at the initial contact, and David Fisher, as you see him getting up. James Fisher, as you see him getting up, limping just a bit also. Chris Shackelford is still down.
Looks like he's holding his wrist in there, David, and that's one thing the Corbin Redhounds don't need is an injury. Of course, Brent Justice went out early in the year. See Brent back and going into the game right now. Colin Ball now going back into the game. He's been injured and out. And, of course, Shackelford, as we see James Fisher limping off now. So injuries definitely could play a part. Matt Phillips has been injured, the tailback, and, of course, Corbin missed him a lot last week. Really missed Matt Phillips last week.
Well, you know, this year's a year also, Burley, that Corbin doesn't have an open date on the schedule. It's straight football from here on out unless they were to get maybe a week off in the playoffs, and I don't think they'll even have that now. You just don't have that week in there on the open day where you can rest up and let some of these minor injuries like Corbin has heal up.
I see Shackelford up and running off, so it must not have been too bad.
Well, it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 6 yards now for Evarts from the 43-yard line. Wide out to the right side. That's number 30, Alfred Early. The quarterback is Tim Browning. He's set to take the snap. He's going to pitch it back to Russell. He is at the 40. He's at the 35. He's dragging people down to the 30-yard line. I'm telling you, the crowd cheers, and I can see why. Scott Russell that time dragging a couple of Corbin players down near the 30-yard line for another first down for Evarts, and the Wildcats are on the drive.
Well, Corbin's left side of the right side of the defensive line over there made the stop, and the point I'm trying to make here is it takes a lot of people to bring this kid down. He's pretty quick. He really is, and I don't know if you've noticed the projection that he runs with. He really leans over forward when he runs.
Scott Russell, a 5 foot 10 inch, 180-pound senior. Not huge as far as halfbacks go. Handoff goes to Kirby up the middle. He's going to be piled up as he crosses the 30 down to the 28-yard line. Brian Mulberry in there in the pile.
Also Sean Sargent getting up. Corbin defensively, I think they're going to be okay. Like you say, they've been a little bit right here, but naturally they've heard all week how good a runner this guy is. And early when you go into games, sometimes you'll try to overcompensate for some things, and you got to get the jitters out. I really feel like when Corbin settles down that they'll be able to stop him.
Eric Ramsey goes wide out to the right side. Evarts, though, not known as much of a passing football team. Browning's going to pitch it back to Kirby. Flags on the play as Kirby is hit hard and spins his way down near the 27-yard line on the 2nd down play, but we have flags laying everywhere.
I think it's going to be probably a hold or an illegal block as Eddie Pierce and Brent Justice in on the stop. Brent Justice, a starter on defense last year, did a real nice job for the Red Hounds back in there tonight. Again, defensively in there, Wesley Fortney is in there at linebacker. Also Brian Mulberry in there. Mark Mims and Brent Justice are the ends. The tackles now are Colin Ball, Jamie Mabe, Son Sargent. The nose in the secondary is Jason Estep, Eddie Pierce, Pat McCowan, and also back there looks like Jason Gooden. Marcus Fox did play a little bit early.
Well, a 5-yard penalty against the Evarts Wildcats. Looks like, I never did exactly catch that penalty there, Burley Foley, but it's a 5-yarder. That brings up 2nd down and 12 now. The ball on the 34-yard line. Browning under center, wishbone in behind him. He's going to roll it out to the right side. He's going to be hit. Nice hit that time by James Mabe. Knocked him off his feet as he crossed the 33-yard line. And Browning will wind up there. That brings up a 3rd down now for Evarts.
Jamie did a good job there. He came down in there hard on a slant, it looked like, or at least he came in there hard. And the quarterback, he seen he couldn't go ahead and make the hit, and he just dove out there and caused him to get out a little wider, and Brent Justice was able to come over and clean up. So, that was just second effort by Jamie right there to force that play.
Well, we got a good night for some football action here at Evarts. Like we say, the field is a bit muddy in some places, but all in all, good night for some high school football. Once again, wideout goes to the right side, facing a 3rd down and 12, the Wildcats. Browning's going to fake the handoff, rolling out to the left side. Got a man over the middle, Russell, but he overthrows him. It's going to be incomplete, and that will bring up a 4th down for the Wildcats.
Not a real good pass that time because Russell had 2 men, one in front and one back as the Corbin secondary, and of course linebackers there to play good coverage. He threw the ball out there. I feel like that hopefully he was just trying to throw that thing away.
For his sake, huh?
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good pass, I'll have to agree. They'll bring on the punting unit now for the Wildcats. They'll have to give it up to Corbin. Corbin will send Pat McCowan and Jason Gooden back to receive the punt. 7 minutes, 16 seconds to go in the opening period of play. No score so far between these two teams. And it looks like Russell's going to do the punting, gets a strong foot on it, angling it out of bounds. Fair catch called for by Gooden. And that is down on what, Burley? The 20-yard line, 15-yard line?
It's a little tough to see right here. We're going to have to wait till they get it out there in the middle of the field and mark it because what Russell did there is he just punted the ball out of bounds to try to get it somewhere inside the 20, and he did succeed at that. I don't think he actually got it where he wanted it. Now you would like to have it inside the 5 or on the 1, but he was able to manage to get it down there inside the 20.
And the football will be lined up right on about the 15-yard line, looks like, the 13 maybe, as Corbin sets up the offense. The wishbone in behind Mauser. He's going to pitch it out to the right side to Willoughby. He is across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Hit hard and brought down there on a good tackle by the Evarts Wildcats.
A question I had coming into this game, what does Scotty Russell play defense? I don't see him out there right now, and, probably he's so valuable on offense he doesn't play a lot of defense, but a school this size, I'm a little surprised that he's not in there.
Gain of 3 on that play for...
Oh, he is in there, linebacker, okay.
Yes, he is. I see him out there now. Gain of 3 on the play that time by Brent Willoughby brings up 2nd down and 7. Handoff is going to go to the big fullback, Kenny Davis. Pounds his way up over the 20-yard line to the 22. Brings up 3rd down for the Hounds. So Corbin off, of course, using their running game, trying to get him behind those big tackles. Of course, Chris Judge, you know all about him, and... Sean Russell, a couple of big guys that can open up some holes. And Corbin's had some holes open talking with the coaching staff, and they feel it's just a matter of time before the inexperienced backfield Burley starts to hit the holes a bit better maybe than they have so far here in the early going in the season.
No doubt about it, and we'll check the rest of that offensive lineup after this play.
Mauser has Davis lined up behind him. Also, Willoughby is back there. Handoff is going to be a keeper by Mauser. Hit hard by Kirby. Right on about the 19-yard line. Kirby was just sitting there waiting on him, takes him down, and Corbin will have to punt this football away.
Pretty good play that time by Kirby as he came up in there. Trey Pennington pulled on that play, and really Kirby just come inside of him right at the last minute. That's a play that's worked pretty good for Corbin this year, but it didn't go nowhere that time.
Absolutely not. Good defensive play that time by Kirby for Evarts. Matt Phillips will punt the football away. Kirby and Russell will be back to receive. They will set up at about midfield. Oh, a nice kick that time. It's going to bounce all the way down to the 30-yard line, across that and on down to the 25. And will finally be touched there by Mike Wyatt. A good kick that time by Matt Phillips, and it took a nice Corbin bounce to boot.
Well, it did. Matt earlier in the year punted and handled the place kicking job. Had a rough time up at Dixie Heights. He's been injured. Come back and gets a booming kick away. Really, Matt's best kick of the year.
Once again, Tim Dudley's down on the field side, and he is not only keeping the Corbin offensive stats, as he always does, he's also keeping track of Scott Russell, who needs, like we told you earlier, and when the game started, 832 yards to become the all-time leading rusher in Kentucky football history. That would put him past Mark Higgs.
Chris Shackelford back in now at linebacker for the Red Hounds, injured on the last series.
First down and 10 from the 24-yard line for Evarts. They're on 24. It goes to Russell. He's hit a couple of times as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Not much there, maybe a couple of yards. Good defense by the Hounds.
Pat McCowan over there, also Jason Eastep. One other that we couldn't pick up his number getting up, but a real good aggressive defense. And that's what you got to do against good people. You know, against good backs, you got to get a lot of people to them. They wouldn't be good backs if they couldn't break tackles. And when you get a back that can spin and twist, you really got to have people to come up in there and put their head on him. And that's what happened right there. We had 3 or 4 Red Hounds right there.
That'll bring up second down and 8 now with 4.5 left to go here in the first period for Evarts. Wide out to the right side. Number 85 is Jay Gibson. Wishbone backfield in behind Browning. He'll hand it off to the fullback, and he will cross the 30 up to about the 32-yard line. And that was number 32 on the carry, Alan Turner.
Evarts with nothing fancy thus far, just a quick pitch and of course running some straight dives right at the middle and a lead every now and then. And basically I think that's what Corbin expected. They expected the power type offense from this team.
Under 4 minutes to go in the first. Third down and now 3. Evarts will once again have in the backfield. Turner is back there. Also to the left halfback will be Russell. It's going to be a quarterback keeper though as Browning pushes across the 35-yard line, and that should be enough for a first down for Evarts, or at least very close to it. I don't know. It's going to be close. They're signaling for the first down, looks like. You have to bear with us. Very difficult position for me and Burley to see here out of the press box, and it's hard to tell exactly even where the ball is at or where the markers are at, but we'll do the best that we can. Try to stay on top of it. So first down for Evarts. They'll have it now 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line, right on the 35. Browning is going to hand it off to the second guy through, which is Kirby, and Kirby gets a couple of yards before going down. Jason Eastep in on the hit. Wes Fortney over in that area too.
You know, that's the thing I think that makes Evarts effective, and we've talked about this before, is you can't just go ahead and say, I'm going to shut Scotty Russell down. You've got to contend with Kirby, and Coach Music does a pretty good job of trying to balance it out between the two.
Evarts had a good opening drive before stalling out. Corbin, 3 plays and punt on their opening drive. And Evarts has the football right back. Going to mix it up in the backfield. They will finally set in the wishbone. Browning is going to hand the football to Kirby. And the big fullback is to the 40-yard line. That'll bring up a third down for the Wildcats. 3rd and about 5.
Well, you can expect to see Russell here is try to get some of that speed, maybe get outside on the corner.
Well, the Corbin defense holding well on this drive here. 2.5 to go in the first period. 3rd and 5 now facing Evarts. Still no score. High in the backfield. The ball is dropped. It's loose, and it's fell on by Corbin. The Red Hounds have recovered. Browning that time dropped the snap. Some miscommunication there, and Corbin picks it up. So the Red Hounds will take over here. Could be a big turnover. They'll have it on the 41-yard line of the Wildcats. But
looked like Colin Ball got in there and recovered that fumble. Colin coming back his first game from injury. Is the Red Hound defense done a pretty good job right there. You know, kept them in a 3rd and long situation, and Colin comes up with a big fumble recovery. So
Colin, of course, battling, I think, tendonitis, isn't he?
Yeah, I think that's what he said.
Jason Eastep into the football game. He goes wide out to the right side. In the backfield, number 26, Marcus Fox, and number 25, Kenny Davis. And now Corbin wants a timeout. Cotton Adams didn't like something he saw. So we'll take a break here. 2:05 left to go in the first period of play. No score between Evarts and Corbin. You're hearing Red Hound football on WCTT T107. Time you got, Mark? 15. Beth, stick me an ID on the end of this 30. Yeah, just 30. Put an ID on the end of it. We've not. Okay. I forget them, you know. Well, a good crowd, a big Evarts crowd on hand here, and a good Corbin crowd on hand also as the Wildcats and the Hounds battle. Big turnover by Evarts has given Corbin the football, 1st and 10 on the 41-yard line of the Wildcats with 2:05 left to go here in the opening period of play. Jason Eastelp wide out to the left side. Fox and Davis in behind the quarterback Mauser. Mauser takes a snap. He's looking back to pass. He's looking over the middle. It's going to be almost intercepted, but we do have a flag on the play. And that was thrown right over in the area where Jason Eastelp was at. I don't know if Jason maybe left too early. We'll have to wait and see the signal from the official. Yeah, it was. I thought Jason Eastelp looked like took off too early that time, Burley Foley. It'll be a 5-yarder against Corbin, bring up 1st down and 15.
Offensively in there for the Red Hounds, being led on that offensive line by Chris Judd and Trey Pennington. The center is Glenn Brinker. The left guard is Travis Smith. And the left tackle is Sean Russell. Scott Russell and Sean Russell. That can be confusing. The quarterback is Mauser. The fullback is Kenny Davis. One halfback, Brent Willoughby. And Jason Eastep's in there, one of the wideouts right now.
All right.
The ends are Pierce Senup Church.
And they absolutely are. We're just about ready to go here as Mauser's underneath Brinker. Gets the snap. Going to give it off to Davis. Davis with some room down to the 39-yard line, probably just about getting back the yardage that Corbin lost on the penalty, so that'll bring up 2nd down and around 10.
Of course, we've talked a lot about Scott Russell and Evarts' rushing game. Corbin's had a pretty good rushing game of their own this year with Matt Phillips, Kenny Davis, and, of course, Brent Willoughby in there. Jody Mauser, of course, turning and giving the ball to those guys, but Corbin's offensive rushing attack has not been too shabby.
No, it hasn't. Michael Wyatt, too's had a couple of good games running the football, Bert.
He sure has.
A lot of people have been running the ball well. Davis and Okuma the backfield. Jason Eastelp goes out to the right side. Corbin right in the middle of the field. It goes to Davis. He stumbles as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Got tripped up actually initially by number 20, Terry Snelling. And that will go for a gain of about 2 yards maybe on the play, 2 or 3. That'll bring up 3rd down and 7 now for Corbin. And the Hounds having their problems getting any kind of offense going against Evarts.
No, really, it's the kind of game we expected, though. A pretty hard-hitting physical game. Both teams trying to run the ball at each other. And fairly mistake-free game up to this point.
Corbin has been a fairly mistake-free football team up to this point in the season.
This year. Very disciplined team.
Of course, want to knock on wood when we say that. Split in the backfield behind Mauser, Davis, and Okuma. Mauser's back to pass. He's looking. He's being chased. He's going to have to get out of there, and he is going to be hit and brought down at the 40-yard line. Big number 54 was right on his tail that time. O.B. Kennedy, a 5'9", 190-pound defensive tackle, and he was right behind Mauser that time. Nowhere for Jody to go, and that's going to bring up another punting situation for Corbin.
Evarts played good defense in the secondary, and, Jody dropped back and nowhere to go, tried to turn it up, and then their end over there did a good job turning it back in.
So Matt Phillips is called on to punt the football away. He will be punting from about midfield. And it's a fake punt. Oh, here goes Shackelford. He might take it in, and he is going to go down short of the touchdown, but I'm telling you, I was fooled on that play. We've seen Corbin use that before, the fake punt. Chris Shackelford took off with the football, and he's got this thing way down inside Evarts territory.
I think that's going to bring the first quarter to a close, but what a way to end it on Chris Shackelford's run on a fake punt by Corbin.
All right, no score in the first period of play, but Corbin is knocking on the door, and we'll be back with quarter number 2 in a moment. You're hearing Red Hound football on WCTT T107. No music on there. I don't know where the hell the ball's at. Where's it at? Hell, I can't tell nothing, man. They'll come down here anyway, won't they? Okay. Well, the fake punt has put the football on the 12-yard line of Evarts. Chris Shackelford on the run, and Corbin will have it 1st and 10 there as we start things off here in the second period of play. Willoughby is in. Okuma, the left halfback. Handoff goes to Willoughby. He's across the 10 and pounds his way on down near the 7-yard line. And that'll bring up 2nd down for the Hounds.
Big play by Chris Shackelford on the fake punt. Sets up excellent field position for Corbin.
Second time this year that Corbin has ran the fake punt, and both times it's worked.
It's effective. It really is.
11 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the second quarter, just underway from the Evarts football field. The Hounds and the Wildcats battle here. Both teams 3-1 for the season. Eastep will go wide to the right side. Pierce is in tight on the left side. Corbin just about in the middle of the field. Mauser has in behind him Davis, and Davis gets the handoff and hit hard as he gets to the line of scrimmage. No running room at all there for Ken Davis.
Evarts being very stingy down there as they're in a 61 defense, and they've got everybody stacked in there, and it's tough down there. When you get inside that 10-yard line, the yards become extremely tough.
As we see Brent Willoughby check in out of the football game, Jason Eastep. Well, it has been a battle, a physical football game so far. Neither team has been able to put any points on the board after one. We're just underway here in the second quarter. Corbin is facing a 3rd down and 4 from about the 8-yard line. Handoff is going to go to Chris Okuma. Okuma with some room. He's in there. Chris Okuma that time came hard off the football and just kept picking those holes, and he takes it over for the 6 points, and Corbin goes on top 6-0.
Dave, that play was designed to go just a little wider, but Chris seen an opening back to the left, made a good cut back inside, and gets Corbin's first score.
And now we take you down on the field side with Bill Sloan for the point after. Bill.
Well, thank you very much, Dave. I tell you what, not much of my life am I ever right, but I did call the fake punt. As Corbin has it set, Phillips puts it up and through. So, Dave, with 10:36 left to go in the second quarter, our score, Corbin drawing first blood, 7, Evarts, nothing. You're listening to Red Hound Football on WCTT T107.
$30 seconds, Beth. Beth. Yeah, I'm getting the I'm getting satellite music network on there some way. I don't know how. And it doesn't really matter as long as I can hear you. Well, Corbin strikes first, going on top 7-0. 10:36 left to go here in the first half of play. It was an 8-yard run from Chris Okuma. The extra point was good by Matt Phillips. And the Red Hounds lead the Wildcats of Evarts. Phillips will be kicking off. Back to receive. We see Scott Russell is back there. Also back on the left side of the field is Brad Kirby. And number 11, Jay Snelling, is also back there to maybe return this kickoff. The up back will be number 20, Terry Snelling.
Brothers, maybe?
Possibly. Here's a kick by Phillips. It's going to be a short kick toward the left side. It's going to bounce, and it hits right off of Snelling, and ball is finally fallen on at the 25-yard line.
Damian Hall and Brian Mulberry hustling down for Corbin.
I think that's 34, Sean Swanner.
Mark Hamlin also down there.
Well, I understand the Town's got a pretty good workout on their kickoff coverage this week, Burley, after the reverse went for 75 yards from Glasgow last Friday night.
Well, I'm sure they did, and you know that's something that you hate as a coach or a fan or whatever to see happen to your team. But when you play people that had the athletes that Glasgow has, that's going to happen again for those guys this year. They had some great speed.
So Evarts 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Handoff is going to go to Russell. He finds a hole across the 25 up to the 30-yard line. Ball down there, number 50, Chris Judd, playing some defense this time around and on the tackle. Well, Shackelford must be okay. He came off the field banged up just a bit there back in the first quarter, but he was in on that fake punt and also is back playing defense again. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 4, gain of 6 yards on that play for Scott Russell. Wide out to the left side is number 85, Jay Gibson. The end is in tight on the right side. Wishbone in the backfield. Handoff is going to go to Kirby. Oh, he's not down there. He gets out of the pile and takes off running again across the 40-yard line. Or across the 35-yard line, and it'll be a 1st down for Evarts.
Well, what happened to Kirby there is he hit in on the players, but he never did touch the ground, spun off, and was able to get a couple more yards. I'm very, very impressed with how hard Evarts backs run. All three of them run extremely hard.
They really do, and they're picking up a lot of first downs. That's another first down for the Wildcats. They gave it up the last time on a fumble. I formation in there. The pitch back goes to Russell, looking for him across the 35. He's to the 40, and he is near the 45-yard line. And close to another first down for the Wildcats of Evarts. Gain of around 8 yards on the play that time by Scott Russell.
Didn't get who was in on a stop for Corbin, Dave. That's way away from here, and we just couldn't pick it up.
Corbin on top 7-0 here at Evarts, but the Wildcats once again moving the football with 9 minutes to go in the first half. They're facing a second down and a long 2 from the 44-yard line. Wishbone in the backfield as Browning's going to hand it off to Kirby. Kirby's across close to the first down, up near the 48-yard line.
Chad Adams now checking in the game. He'll replace Wesley Fortney in there at one of the linebackers.
And it is another first down for the Wildcats, so it's 1st and 10 at the 48. As Evarts continues to roll the football on the ground here. They've only attempted one pass so far in the football game. In the backfield, the three that's been back there most of the time for Evarts. Handoff is going to go to Russell. He is across midfield down to the 45 and pounds his way on down to the 44-yard line. Drugged down at the knees, finally, or at the feet, I guess we should say, by Pat McCowan.
Well, we've seen this same type of offense before, but we've seen it out of the guys in the red and white. Evarts looking a lot like Corbin right now, and the fact that they're just, getting 4, 5, 6, and sometimes 8 yards of crack.
And the ball will be on the 44-yard line. It'll be second down and 3 from the 44. In the backfield is Turner, Kirby, and Russell. Handoff goes to the big fullback, Kirby, and he is really piled up as he crosses the line of scrimmage. But, of course, the fullback is an up-the-middle kind of guy. He just wants to pick up a couple of yards, and that's about what Kirby did that time. Well, maybe not. Maybe only about a yard on the play.
First down.
Yeah, maybe more, maybe more than that. Like we said, it's difficult to see from over here, but it is going to be a first down for the Evarts Wildcats. They'll have it 1st and 10.
Brent Justice checking in the game. Chris Shackelford comes out.
1st and 10 from the 42-yard line, the PA guy says, for the Evarts Wildcats. Wide out to the left side is number 5, Scott Pack, or Scott Pace, maybe that is. Handoff is going to go to Russell. He's got a big hole. He's going to pound his way all the way down across the 30-yard line, and finally rounded up there by Jason Eastup and Pat McCowan. I'm telling you, this guy's got some speed, Burley Fuller. He was to the 30 before you could blink your eye almost.
Well, we give Scott Russell a lot of credit for how hard he runs, but I'm going to give the Evarts right side of the line a lot of credit right there, Dave. They made a nice hole for Scott Russell as he went into the secondary untouched as Pat McCowan come up and made the stop.
Once again, Russell is 832 yards away from the all-time rushing record for Kentucky high school football, and we'll stay on top of his stats as the night goes on. Matter of fact, as soon as we get a long enough break here, we'll check in down on the field with Bill and Tim Dudley. Handoff this time goes to Russell. He's hit hard at the line of scrimmage. In there for Corbin, number 10, Chad Adams.
Also Jamie Maid.
I think Maid probably got the initial tackle, and Adams came over to help finish him off, but not much running room that time for Russell. Ball sits at about the 31-yard line. Matter of fact, a loss of a yard on the play, so second down and 11 now for the Wildcats. And we got some confusion, looks like, so Evarts will want to talk it over with a timeout. 6:36 left to go in the first half of play. The score, Corbin 7, Evarts nothing, but the Wildcats are driving. We'll be right back. You're hearing Red Hound football on WCTT T107. Hello, Bill. Hold on just a second, Bill. Y'all got a tally on Russell for right now? I'm talking to Bill right now, Bill. You got a tally on Russell, Bill?
I'd like to invite you to watch the coverage of tonight's game on Sports Overtime, 11:30.
Have one though. You got them off.
6 minutes and 36 seconds left to go here in the first half of play. Corbin 7, and Evarts nothing. And we have just been told by Bill Sloan that Scott Russell has 9 rushes for 61 yards already in the football game. And they're facing right now, though, a 2nd down and 11. Pitch out's going to go to Russell. He's across the 30, tripped and falls on down to about the 25-yard line. He gets about 3 yards a carry on the fall down.
Well, you know, again, I think this comes back to the type projection. He runs leaning forward about as well as anybody I've seen in quite some time. And my assessment of Scott Russell up to this point is he's everything what I've heard. He's a hard-nosed running back.
That's going to bring up now a 3rd down and still about 8 yards. Well, they're saying a 3rd down and 5. Looks a bit longer than that from here, but we'll go with what the scoreboard says. 3rd and 5 for the Evarts Wildcats just outside the 25-yard line. Going to be the power eye to the right side, and it's going to be a rollout by Browning. He's got a man. He's got the football. That's Snelling. A little shake and bake. And he's down to the 15-yard line. Finally goes down there. Number 20, Terry Snelling, on the reception that time. I think maybe the Corbin defense got fooled. They thought Russell had the football, but Browning was rolling out to the right side. Got his man, and that's going to bring up a 1st down for Evarts.
Well, that play was set up real good. You know, they've been running Russell in there. This time it's play action. They just slipped out there in the flat, and just a nice call by Coach Music.
Right out to the left side is number 12, Mike Middleton. In the backfield is Russell, Kirby, and looks like Turner. Handoff is going to go to Russell, trying to get to the outside. He's piled up as he crosses over the 15, trying to get down to the 10-yard line.
Looks like Chad Adams and Pat McCowan in there. Byron Jones went in the game on the last play. He comes back out now as Jason Estep will go back in. I don't know, you know, to me that ball looks like it's right on the goal line, but it's on the 10-yard line.
Yeah, it's very difficult to tell.
I think you have to go up that bank to get in the end zone.
Right. 2 minutes and, rather 2nd down and 5. 4 minutes and 55 seconds left to go here in the first half, and straight up the middle that time is Russell again on the carry. And he gets out of the pile. That'll bring up 3rd down and 2. Gain of 3 on that play by Russell.
They can pick up a 1st down here, Dave. I can't see it down there. You'll have to let me know.
Yeah, it's tough. It really is. I can honestly say I don't know where the football is at, but it is somewhere down around the 10-yard line or just inside the 10-yard line, maybe on about the 7. Handoff is going to go once again to the fullback, Kirby.
Stopped by the heart of the Corbin defense. Looked like everybody got a little piece of action there.
Going to be close to a 1st down. They might have to come out and have our first measurement of the football game here. Looks like maybe the official is calling for the chains. Well, maybe not. It's going to be, well, we got an official timeout. Maybe they are going to measure this thing. It's very close to the 1st down for Evarts. Knocking on the door here against the Corbin Redhounds.
Colin Ball checks in now, one of the bigger kids on the team. They're trying to get some meat in there, I'm sure.
Let's go down on the field with Bill Sloan if we can. And Bill, where the heck's the football at?
Well, I'll tell you the truth, Dave. I want to say it's going to come up about a half a yard shy as they stretch the chain. My eye was actually even a little bit bad, as they're going to be at least a full yard short on this one. So it looks like it's 4th and 1 for Evarts.
What yard line we on, Bill? Well, we've got a timeout on the field there. Let's take a break. What do you say? Let's take a break here during the timeout. 3:58 left to go in the first half. 7-0. Corbin on top of Evarts. We'll be right back. You're hearing Redhound football on WCTT T107. Would you say you had a score, Ben?
Pretty good back, ain't it? Runs hard. Reminds me a lot of Spicer. Yeah. He's a little quicker.
Willie 7, Knox Central 0. Okay, thank you. Well, I swear I can't tell where that ball's at.
Huh?
Can't tell where that ball's at all.
I can't either. I have no idea.
Well, under 4 minutes to go until halftime. 3 minutes and 58 seconds, as a matter of fact. Corbin is on top 7-0. Evarts is facing a 4th down and about a half yard. Some other scores coming in around the area. Cumberland leads Williamsburg right now by a score of 19-0, and Whitley County is leading currently Knox Central by a score of 7-0. Walking out to the right side is number 5. That's Scott Pace. But they're not going to throw the football. You can bet on that. Handoff is going to go to Russell. He's got the first down, and he is down there close to the goal line. It'll be 1st and goal now for the Wildcats of Evarts.
Well, again, you know, we've talked about the running ability of Scotty Russell, but the offensive line for Evarts, I think, has done a pretty nice job.
Yes, they have. They've moved some people around. They're doing an outstanding job. Evarts, of course, had won 18 straight regular season football games until last Friday night when they were knocked off by Lincamp. The Wildcats playing a good game. Lincamp's played good football as of late and had an outstanding game against Evarts and knocked off the Wildcats. In the backfield is Turner, also Kirby and Russell. Handoff to Russell, dives over the goal line. Will it be a touchdown? The officials say yes, give him 6. On the dive, over the top that time for Scotty Russell. And we have a 7-6 football game.
Well, he was impressive there, Dave, as he got up in the air and showed some athleticism. No doubt about it, this kid's definitely a football player.
So with 3:28 left to go here in the first half, we have a 7-6 football game. And now we'll go down on the field with Bill Sloan for the point after, Bill.
Okay, Dave, I'll tell you what, it looked like to me it came up a little bit shy on the dive, but the official said it was in for a good touchdown. As we try to pick up the kicker, will be Ronnie Curry trying for PAT as they're set, waiting for the snap. Motion on the Corbin line. It's going to be a penalty right now against Corbin, Dave.
Okay, thank you very much, Bill. Well, looks like Evarts is going to call a timeout here now to maybe look this thing over after the penalty against Corbin. That's going to give them 5 more yards, and they might want to maybe try for 2 here. Let's see what they decide. They're bringing, coming back in, looks like with their backfield. We see Russell coming back onto the field. Turner's coming back out there, and Kirby. So the Wildcats looking to take the lead here, Burley Foley, rather than go for the tie.
Well, they're going to get half the distance to the goal here, and anytime you have, you know, a running attack like they've had, they've been able to move the ball up and down the field. You know, Evarts fumbled a football away on another drive, and then, of course, Corbin comes back and scores, and they bring it right back down. And when you're having that kind of success on the ground and you get that penalty, you have no choice, I feel like, but to go for 2.
And that's exactly what the Wildcats will do. They're talking things over right now. We're down to, once again, 3:28 to go here in the first half of play. 7-6, Corbin on top. And now Evarts wants to talk it over with a timeout. So we'll give our sponsors a little time here. We'll take a break. You're hearing Red Hound Football on WCTT T107. Where's this ball going to be at, Bill? Thank you very much, sir. Doing an outstanding job down there. Well, so far, Scott Russell has 14 carries for 71 yards in the football game, and Evarts will have it here on the 1-yard line. They get half the distance to the goal after the motion penalty against Corbin, and they've brought the backfield back in here to try for the 2-point conversion. And if they make it, they will go on top of the Corbin Red Hounds 8-7. If they don't, they will trail here 7-6. In the backfield is Turner. We also have Kirby and Russell. Hand off to Russell. He's in no problem, and that's going to be 2 for Evarts. And the crowd loves it. The Wildcats go on top here by a score of 8-7. We'll be right back. You're hearing Red Hound Football on WCTT T107. No. Did you play the thing? Well, that's okay. Just send it back after that play. That's fine. No big deal. Sponsors like that. 8-7, the Evarts Wildcats looking for the upset here over Corbin, and they lead right now by 1 point. After the touchdown run, a 2-yard run by Scott Russell, who has 14 carries for 71 yards. We'll make that 15 carries for 72 yards so far. He has a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, and so far he's been, well, more than the Corbin Redhounds can handle. Here's the kickoff. It's going to be fielded by Jason Eastep way back at about the 10. He's bringing it out of there up the right sideline, rather, gets a couple of blocks and will be chased out of bounds all the way up to the 37-yard line. Nice return that time by Jason Eastep. He goes out of bounds at the 37. That's going to be pretty good field position for the Hounds.
Jason made a real good move there about the 20-yard line, so he was able to pick up 17 more as he just really shook number 11. I didn't get his name, but he really put a nice move on him and then turned it up in there. It took some punishment on that sideline. Anytime you turn up that sideline, you got to be a pretty courageous person because you're going to take some thumps.
Yes, they like to hit you hard on the sideline, that's for sure. So Corbin lines it up offensively here, 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line, working over near the right hash marks. Brent Willoughby, Kenny Davis, the backfield. Also Okuma's out there. It's going to be a keeper by Mauser across the 40. Cuts it out to the 45, to midfield, to the 45, to the 40. Drug down there from behind. And a nice run, picking the holes by Jody Mauser.
That was a good play. That was an option play to the left side. And it was designed to go left. Jody made a real wise cut, come back to the right, and nearly went off to the races.
Very good run that time. You know, we talked about, we talked on the way up here that maybe as far as picking his holes, Jody Mauser may be the smartest guy that we have when he has a football in his hand.
Jody Mauser, it's all natural instinct for him. He is an intelligent football player, but he's one of those natural guys. Everything comes natural for him. And in all sports, he's that way. He's just a good athlete.
So Corbin 1st and 10 from the 41. Mike Wyatt checks into the backfield, seeing his first action back there. Power to the left side. It's going to go to Wyatt, though, in the back of that eye. And he's going to be piled up as he crosses the 40 on down to the 38. And that'll bring up now a 2nd down for the Hounds. 2nd and about 8 yards with 2.5 left to go here in the first half of play. An 8-7 game. Evarts on top.
Corbin also, I think, has 2 timeouts left. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. I think, or did we use 2 already?
I thought we just used 1.
Okay.
But I've been told about thinking.
Yeah, they tell me not to do a lot of that either. Jason Eastep goes wide to the right. Okuma in the backfield. Mauser's rolling out the pass. He's got Pierce long, but is going instead for Eastep. It's going to be incomplete. Overthrown and knocked away by the Evarts defender. Good coverage that time by the secondary. That time Eddie Pierce had his defender beaten long, but Mauser did not look that way. Instead, he was looking for Eastep on the sideline, and it will go as an incomplete pass. That'll bring up a 3rd down for the Hounds.
Pretty good defense by Evarts that time as they just, was really running step for step with Jason. Jason did a good job to go up with the defender, though, and give him a chance to catch the football.
Pierce and Upchurch the ends. Wide to the right side is Eastep in the backfield. A split back there, Okuma and Davis. As Mauser is set for the snap on this 3rd down, rolling back to pass, looking over the middle for Upchurch. He might have him. No, he threw it to the left of him. Stephen Upchurch actually was open on that play right there, but the ball was thrown behind him over to his left side, his blind side, and that'll bring up now 4th down for Corbin.
I think that type pattern, and I'm not for sure, is just type thing where you got to try to feel the seam in there, and Jody felt it was a little different than Steve, and there's just a little miscommunication on both people's part. But anytime you're running that kind of pattern, that can happen.
Of course, Corbin hit Kaywood with that play at the end of the first half of that football game and got a touchdown out of it, and didn't work that time. It looks like Cotton Adams is going to call for the timeout. We'll keep it here during this timeout. And what we want to do is check down on the field with Bill Sloan and get an update on the yardage for Scott Russell. Bill, you have that?
Well, David, actually, we got separated from our statistician, Tim Dudley, just a moment ago. I don't have that on the complete after this half, but I'll tell you what, the kid's getting close to 90 yards so far in this half. We'll give you a complete update at halftime. How about that?
Okay, thank you very much, Bill. Yeah, I see Tim. He's way up here. He's straggled off from you, hasn't he?
Well, I'll tell you what, one thing about the kid I read in the paper, which they said he had very deceptive speed, and, sometimes that's one of those ploys to say that he has decent speed, but he's not that quick. But I'll tell you what, it's absolutely a true statement. The Russell kid has deceptive speed because when he sees a gap up in the line, he can take advantage of it, and he's also a very stout runner. He keeps those shoulders square. He knows what to do with the football. He goes north to south. That's what you have to do. And he has all the signs of a good running back. And he's right now being recruited by a lot of big schools. He could be a good possible Division I player.
Okay, Bill, thanks a lot.
David, Bill mentioned deceptive speed. I had deceptive speed when I played. I was a lot slower than I looked.
For some reason, I don't doubt that a bit.
Come on now.
We got a 4th down and 8 here facing the Corbin Redhounds with 2:01 left to go in the half. And we had some movement on the line. No flags, though. Here is Mauser across the middle. It's going to be caught by Marcus Fox. And Marcus has the first down, down across the 20-yard line at about the 18.
Nice throw that time by Jody Mauser. Good catch by Marcus. As I seen Coach Faulkner and Coach Adams talking there, and they've seen something in there that they wanted to do by running that back in the middle. Great call by the Corbin coaching staff.
Of course, coming after the timeout, that does make them look good, no doubt about it. Brings up now with 1:48 to go in the half. 1st and 10 for Corbin from the 18-yard line. Mauser, the quarterback, in behind his big center Brinker. He's rolling out to the right side. Going to pitch it out there to Fox again. He'll be hit at the 15. And popped pretty good there. Not much on that play, but still a quick hit for Corbin. And the clock continues to run on the completion.
Well, I'm not sure of the timeouts. I'd like to know just, how many we have left. I know for sure we've taken 1 and possibly 2. I think Coach Adams is asking right now, how many do I have? You can't get any response from the official, though.
Yeah, he couldn't get his attention down there, so I'm sure somebody will find out here in a moment. Split in the backfield, we have Fox and Davis back there. He stepped wide to the right. Mauser looking over the middle for Pierce. He's got him wide open. Touchdown for the Corbin Redhounds and Eddie Pierce.
Boy, nice catch and throw again from Jody Mauser to Eddie Pierce. I don't know what happened to Evarts' defense right there, but, boy, somebody went to sleep because Pierce found himself wide open.
So Corbin goes on top here by a score now of 13-8. And we'll take it down on the field with Bill Sloan. I think maybe we had a timeout there, though, Bill, called by Coach Adams.
Well, David, right now, Coach Adams wants to talk about this. He's going to have to think, do I go for the 2 or do I go for the 1? He has a couple of sure-footed kickers, and not only Phillips, but also in, I forgot the other kid, Mulberry there for a moment. Right now, you have to think about this. It's a big decision because you're looking at it, Dave. You have 1 minute and 4 seconds left to go in the first half. You're down by the score of 13-8. Then what do you think you do right now? Do you go for it? Do you make the difference up? So it's a coach's decision right now. It's a big thought for Coach Cotton Adams. So we just have to wait and see what he does.
My money's on going for 2, Bill.
Well, Dave, right now, the way they're moving the ball, they're starting putting it up in the air because a lot of times with the Corbin teams, you don't expect that. And I tell you what, you picked it right, Dave. We're going for 2. It's back to you. Go ahead and call it.
Okay, the Corbin Redhounds going to line up, and as Bill said there, go for the 2-point conversion here, leading 13-8. Once again, Fox and Davis will be the backfield. Eastup is wide to the right side. Pearson Upchurch the ends, down the middle, wide open, and caught again by Eddie Pierce. Just about the same play as the touchdown play, and Corbin gets the 2 points and leads Evarts by a score of 15-8. We'll take a break. We'll be right back to hearing Redhound football on WCTT T107. .104 to go in the first half. Corbin on top by a score of 15-8 after the 2-point conversion pass from Mauser to Pierce. The touchdown pass was also a 15-yarder from Mauser to Pierce. Corbin also has a touchdown from Chris Okuma, about an 8-yard run. The extra point was good on that one. Evarts scored on a 2-yard run by Scott Russell. He also picked up a 2-point conversion, which leaves us at 15-8. Here's the kick by Mulberry. This time it's going to be fielded by Snelling at the 30, to the 35, to the 40, to the 45, across midfield, and he is going to go all the way down to the 40-yard line of Corbin. Finally is going to be taken down in there by number 85, Eddie Pierce, also number 90 on that tackle for Corbin, Jason Hart. Damian Hall, and well, I'm telling you, that was very scary, and Evarts still has 56 seconds to get something going here from the 40.
Well, Evarts is back in business right here, Dave. As they, our philosophy there is we didn't want to give Russell a chance to return it, but we kicked it up there, and our coverage broke down a little bit.
So Evarts lines it up here offensively. The pitch back is going to go to Russell to the right side, to the 40, to the 35, and hit and piled up hard there by Wes Fortney at the 35-yard line. Also, Chris Shackelford is in there on the bottom of the pile. Brian Mulberry coming out of there.
James Mabe also there. As Corbin looked aggressive right there. Russell able to pick up some yardage, but Corbin pretty aggressive.
Well, you know, the Hounds, they need to get fired up a bit. I thought maybe that Glasgow got fired up in the second half of that football game last Friday night, and Corbin didn't match their intensity is probably what cost us that football game. Here's the pass from Browning, long pattern. It's going to be caught. Is it caught? Incomplete, says the official.
Gee whiz, that was nearly a great catch. I lost it down there.
Oh, I did
see the kid extend on and get his hands on it, and he had a step on us there.
That's number 85, Jay Gibson. Yeah, I'm like you. The only part I could see was him getting hands on the football. He must have dropped it when he hit the ground there, but with 12 seconds to go here on the first half clock, Corbin dodges a bullet. But, of course, it's not over yet. Gibson showing some speed that time, just running straight for that left-hand corner. He's on the right side this time. Turner also goes out over there with him on the right side. The eye in the backfield. Browning is back to pass, and he's going to throw it away, trying to throw it out there to Russell. Threw it too far in front of him, and that'll stop the clock with 9 seconds and bring up a fourth down for Evarts.
See Trey Pennington going in now on defense. He, of course, plays offense, and what I think one of the better offensive blockers around. He just does a great job offensively, and he's going to be called on defensively here now to make a play.
4th and 4 for Evarts. Only 9 seconds on the clock. They'll have to try to go for the gold on this play right here. Browning's dropping back. Of course, has everybody back defending. The ball is just thrown up in the air. It's going to be caught by Russell. He caught that thing in the end zone. No, he's not in the end zone. He is inside the 5-yard line, I think. Once again, you'll have to bear with us. We can't see the markers down there, but Scott Russell, there are at least 5 or 6 Corbin Redhound players right around him. So with 3 seconds to go, Evarts will have a chance here maybe to stick this thing in. And he's going to just throw it away quickly to stop the clock. Didn't get it stopped in time. The clock says no time.
Boy, why didn't they go ahead and pitch it to Russell right there? I don't understand that at all.
Well, Browning that time was going to try to just throw the ball out of bounds and stop the clock, but it didn't get stopped in time, and time expires. So Corbin dodging a bullet here in the first half of play.
Wait a minute, you talking about dodging a bullet? Wait a minute. Kirk's saying right here he's going to tell him something.
Yeah, he's talking to the Corbin coaching staff. The first half may not be over.
Ooh. Boy, I tell you what, these coaches will go berserk on this right here, I'm afraid.
Don Adams is already berserk. Well, the first half is not over, folks. Stay with us. First half is not over. Charles Kirk is over talking with Cotton Adams. And we still have, obviously, I don't know, the horn did not sound. Is that it? There's zeros on the clock.
I don't quite understand this. Zeros on the clock.
I don't know. Like Burley say, the clock says 0 here, but maybe the horn has not sounded. It still says 0.
I'm not sure if Corbin has enough people in the game.
Well,
Mark Mims running on the field right now. Looks like a little confusion out there. Offsides, Corbin.
Yeah, Mark Mims late getting on the field that time as he came on.
Well, I do understand that now. If we had an offsides penalty right there, you can't end the half, of course, on a defensive penalty. So, boy, Evarts going to come back right here with an excellent chance to tie this thing up.
But there wasn't a penalty on that play, was there?
Yeah, he just said offsides Corbin on the play before.
Okay. I didn't see a flag laying out there anywhere. But it's difficult to see. It really is. So maybe there was a flag on the play. Okay, here we go. It's going to go to Russell. He'll dive over, and he will not get in. He is not in. The Corbin defense has held, and that will end the first half of play with Corbin on top of Evarts by a score of 15-8. Scott Russell took the handoff. He dived just like he did on the touchdown that he got in the second period, but he could not get over the Corbin defense, and the Hounds have held and lead at 15-8 at the end of one half of exciting football here from Harlan.
You've heard the story, dodged the bullet. There's no question about it. We dodged the cannon right there. As Russell came up with a great catch down there, and I mean to tell you, dodge the bullet is a mild statement.
It really is, but Corbin is on top 15-8. Stay tuned. Here at the half, we'll have a look at stats. Don't forget, we'll update you on the stat situation for Scott Russell. We'll also tell you some other games going on in southeastern Kentucky tonight, and just talk about some other things going on sports-wise. Talk about the Corbin 7th and 8th grade and freshman teams, how they've been in playing in action this week and maybe over the weekend. So it is halftime. Dave King, Burley Foley, Bill Sloan, and Tim Dudley. We'll be right back. You are hearing Red Hound football on WCTT T107.
Where's that restroom at? Is it far?
No, it's right over there. For it all. Just go.
Let me wait till you start talking to Bill about the stands. Oh, no.
Yeah, they'll probably have them pretty quick. We'll we'll come back here and analyze the game a little bit.
That'll be it.
And
be fine.
Take a break. School subjects are FBLA and baseball. His future plans go to college and study to be a physical therapist. Coach Adams says of Kenny plays fullback, linebacker, and special teams. He has developed into an all-around back. He has become a leader for our offensive football team. That's Corbin Senior Red Hound, Kenny Davis, number 25. To get those guys. All right. Yeah, Falcon will plug anytime you want to there. Now we'll do it for radio when we come back. We'll do one each.
In other words, you don't trust me on TV.
I just can't get it done quick enough.
Okay.
Like that.
I figured you could come up with that.
Okay. Would I lie to you, Bertie? Would I lie to you? Just because I want all the glory myself.
All right.
Only certain things would I lie for. You got it.
In that order?
Right. Definitely in that order. We're just about ready for the second half. Corbin leads 15-8 over the Wildcats of Evarts. Right now it's time, as we do it every halftime, to meet a couple of Corbin Senior Red Hounds. First off, let's meet number 25, Senior Kenny Davis. He's 17 years old. His favorite movie, Young Guns 1 and 2. His favorite pro athlete, Barry Sanders. Favorite school subject, biology. Favorite hobbies, fishing, rappelling, paintball, and hunting. His favorite school subjects, the FBLA and baseball. Future plans for Kenny, go to college and study to be a physical therapist. And Coach Adams says of Kenny plays fullback, linebacker, and special teams. He has developed into an all-around back. He's become a leader for our offensive football team. Corbin Senior Red Hound, Kenny Davis, number 25.
Let's meet Senior James Fisher, number 78. He's 17 years old. His favorite movie is Young Guns 1 and 2. His favorite pro athlete is Wayne Gretzky. His favorite school subject, art. Hobbies are cars. His school activities include FBLA and NAHS. His future plans are to go to college. Coach Adams says of James plays a defensive tackle and knows he has really improved this year and has made an impact on this year's defensive team.
Corbin leads Evarts 15-8, ready for the second half kickoff here almost. It will be kicked away by the Wildcats of Evarts. Doing the kicking is number 50. That is not Andy Short. I do know that. That is, I think, Curry. I think we had a number change for him there. Here's the kick anyway. It's going to be a long kick. Drives Jason Gooden all the way back to the 5. He drops the football. It's into the end zone, and he will fall on it there. And Corbin will bring it out to the 20-yard line. So Corbin will start it off 1st and 10 at the 20.
Well, that time Jason got his hands on the ball, but he just misplayed it as it went on into the end zone. But Corbin still will start 1st and 20, and, you know, that's better than if the ball hadn't have got into the end zone. It could have been a problem there, but Jason wisely went back in the end zone and downed it.
He did the smart thing. Big crowd on hand here for this football game. We have Evarts fans everywhere. They're even, almost up in the mountains over across the way from us. The stands are full, and the mountain is even filling up pretty quick. And also a lot of Corbin fans have made the trip up here to check out this football action and what has been a good football game. Going to be a keeper by Mauser. He cuts it to the 30. He's got room to the 35, to the 40, and drugged down as he crosses the 40-yard line. Finally caught from behind by number 63 for the Evarts Wildcats. Let me check him for you. That is Clark Rowe.
Jody's hurt, so he's going to have to get another quarterback, and I think that'll be Lance White. And I think possibly a late hit there maybe.
And the ball is going to wind up on about the 37-yard line. And once again, we do apologize for difficulty in seeing where the ball is at. This is just a very, especially when it gets in the ends, very difficult place to track the football from. The press box that we were in.
You know, maybe
the camera guy, Tom Richards on the camera shaking his head. You're right.
I think Coach Adams is telling, or Coach Faulkner is telling Coach Adams right now, maybe just the wind knocked out of Jody. But junior Lance White will get his chance now. We saw him earlier in the panorama. Not a big guy, but Coach Adams says of Lance that he can throw the football. You know, he's a very, very strong kid, and he's got all the confidence in the world. I'll tell you one thing about Lance. He's got confidence.
Well, Mauser is being helped up, and like you said, I think it is just a matter maybe of getting the breath knocked out of him, the wind, as he comes off holding his stomach right under the pads, and that probably is what happened there. 11:50 to go, just underway in the second half. First down picked up by Mauser on the run for the Hounds, and Corbin has it 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Corbin comes to the line. The ends are in tight, right in the middle of the football field, right on the hump, as a matter of fact. It's going to be Upchurch, the left end. The right end is Eddie Pearson. The backfield will be Willoughby and Davis. And Wyatt's going to hand it off to Davis. The big guys across the 40 up to the 42-yard line. So number 28, Lance Wyatt, the quarterback now. He's a 5'4", 170-pound junior. As Mauser, after one play, immediately checks back in. But Lance got his job done while he was in there.
You know, what Lance did right there is not easy to do. Is he went in and he took the snap clean. You know, he's been standing over here. He's cold, and he hasn't taken a snap. He goes in and takes a clean snap. And that's the first thing as a coach you want to get done is be sure and get the snap.
Corbin facing a 2nd down and 6. Ball on the 42. Hand off to Davis. He's got room. He pounds his way across the 45 up to about the 49. They're going to give him the 50-yard line, looks like, and that'll be enough for Corbin first down. Good run by Kenny Davis, and Corbin on the move here, 1st and 10 from midfield.
That offensive line doing a job now, Dave, is Russell up front for Corbin. Also in there, Travis Smith, the center, Glenn Brinker, Trey Pennington, the good guard, and also Chris Judd over there. The ends are Upchurch and Pierce.
Well, I'm telling you, Sean Russell, he's a big guy, isn't he? You can see him directly in front of us here, big number 72. He's a big boy. Handoff goes to Brent Willoughby. Willoughby crosses the 50 and hit. Nice tackle that time by Scott Russell. Got him right at the legs at the 47-yard line. And maybe that time if Willoughby had gotten to the outside a bit, he would have had some running room. But Russell hit him pretty hard, knocks him down. That brings up 2nd and 8.
If Corbin can put together a drive right here, that's going to take a lot out of Scott Russell because, you know, anytime he has to pound in there, not that I'm saying he can't come back and play an extremely good second half, but the longer Corbin can keep the ball and pound it, the harder that's going to be on Russell because he's making a lot of plays.
Corbin lines it up in the eye in the backfield. Okuma fills a slot to the left side. And here is a little mix-up there, but Mauser's going to keep it, and he's going to be hit hard, getting down close to the 45-yard line. That tackle made by number 20, Terry Snelling. Snelling with a pretty hard hit that time on Jody Mauser. Looked like a little confusion in the backfield as he and Davis actually ran into each other. Or he and someone ran into each other.
Corbin coming back with Marcus Fox now and Jason Eastep. And when we seen them in the game before, you know, was that big 4th down play there where Marcus caught the pass over the middle. So I look for maybe Jody to put it up here.
9 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the 3rd period of play. By the way, this is WCTT-FM T107 in Corbin. Split in the backfield. Mauser underneath, takes a snap, rolling back to pass. He's looking, he's got pressure, throwing long for Eastep. He had the football, but it went right through his hands at the 30 and sails on out of bounds. And that's going to bring on the punting unit for the Corbin Redhounds.
Well, Corbin had, you know, a fairly decent offensive drive there as Jody threw the pass out there to Jason. Jason just couldn't come down with it.
Pass was there. Jason Eastep wearing the gloves. It is kind of chilly here. The ball is kind of wet and slick. Wearing the gloves to try to help a bit, but didn't help that time as it just slipped right on through his hands and out of bounds. And Corbin will have to punt. Matt Phillips takes the snap. Gets a nice punt away. It's going to be a long one. It'll drive Kirby back to the end zone. The ball will bounce there, and it'll be down by Corbin inside the 5-yard line at about the 2. So good field position if you're a Corbin Redhound fan as Evarts takes over here.
Good hustling job by the Corbin special teams. And again, we want to apologize for not being able to pick those up. But I'm totally blind down there from this press box, just exactly to where even the ball is right now, Dave. You'll have to take it. I just can't see.
Yeah, you just can't see any, you can't see the markers even when you can't see down there to see where the ball is at. The field is kind of muddy down there on that end especially. And it's just really tough to spot the football out. But it's down there somewhere. I can bet you on that as Evarts lines it up offensively. Russell in the backfield, also Kirby and Turner. Turner is number 32. And Browning turns around, hands it off to Russell. He's looking for room as he claws his way out across the 10-yard line, I think.
Did I see a flag go down? Or no?
I don't think so.
Okay. Russell gives them a little breathing room, the best I can tell from here.
That's going to bring up 2nd down and 6 now for Evarts. Gain of 4 on that play, they say, by Scott Russell. That puts him up to 84 yards so far in the football game. Wide out to the left side is Eric Ramsey. The end's in tied on the right. That's the short side of the field. Hand off to Russell, and he has nowhere to go. Good defense by the Corbin Redhounds. And Scott Russell is going to go down after maybe no gain on the play.
How can you tell that? I'm amazed that you can tell that.
I'm actually faking it.
You shouldn't
One
have
of the
told
great
that,
things about radio, these people can't see, Burley.
And we must remind you, we're on TV too, Dave, thanks to Falcon Cable.
Oh, that's right. Very true.
Certainly appreciate Falcon Cable and all that they have contributed to the Corbin program this year.
Well, they really have. We've had a lot of good comments, too, on the fine camera job and the work that's been done on the Corbin Redhound replays. Going to bring up a 3rd down for Evarts. The handoff goes to, I think maybe that's Russell again. No, that's Kirby that time. Kirby gets off the bottom of the pile. Might have to measure this thing. Very close to a 1st down.
See, I had no idea. I didn't know if it was 3rd and long or what. That was 3rd down, correct?
Yes, it was. They're going to have to come out and measure this thing to see if they're close, and can't really see. Let's go down to Bill Sloan. Bill, how does it look?
1st down.
From the sideline, very, very close. Great spot for Evarts on that one. It's going to be 1st down for Evarts.
Okay, Bill, thank you very much. Bill Sloan, right on top of that thing there, about a half a football, he says, was the amount that Evarts had across the 1st down marker. So that's going to bring up now 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. The ball is somewhere out near the 15-yard line. I'm telling you, that's the best I can tell you. Pitch out's going to go to Russell, and he's going to be tripped up and knocked down as he gets up toward the 20-yard line. Somebody got a hand on his leg as he went by there. He might have had some pretty good yardage on that one, so that'll bring up now 2nd down.
Looked like Pat McCowan was in on the stop.
Pretty good run that time, looks like. Gain of 6 by Scott Russell. That'll bring up 2nd and 4.
Chad Adams, and it goes in now and replaces Fortney. Wally Fortney, a senior.
A little confusion by Evarts as they get ready to line things up offensively. Wide out to the left side is number 12, Mike Middleton. Kirby and Russell in the backfield. Browning gets him set in behind him. He's going to turn around and hand the football off to Russell, and the big guy just pounds his way across the 20 up to near the 23, 24-yard line. Finally, he will go down there.
Sean Sargent and Jason Estep in on the stop for Corbin.
Will be a 1st down for the Evarts Wildcats on the strength of Scott Russell. Really, you can see it when he comes across that line. Even as the Corbin players try to tackle him, you can see that they never bring him down cleanly. He's just bouncing off those guys, and he's just so strong that he's making them pay for every single tackle that Corbin puts on him.
Well, we've heard about good backs that all the teams have had this year, but we without a doubt have seen one tonight. We just haven't heard about it.
You know, we've seen some outstanding football players this year so far. Some good quarterbacks and some good backs. The fake handoff is going to go to nobody, and Browning's going to be brought down. James Mabe wasn't fooled by all that. A couple of fake handoffs that time and a couple of guys going long. I think maybe that Browning was looking for Middleton long, but James Mabe stayed with him on the play and finally brought him down. For a loss on the play, looks like of around 4 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down and 14.
Well, Jamie Mabe real steady in there, Dave, at tackle. You know, he's going to game in and game out. He's going to come out and do the job, and again, he makes a big play. And we've seen James Mabe make some other big plays this year. And if Corbin's to win this football game, he's going to have to make some other ones tonight.
And we understand Scott Russell just went over 100 yards, 20 carries for 108 yards so far on the night. Evarts lines it up in the eye with a shift out of that to the left side. It's going to be the handoff to Russell, running hard toward the left side, goes down under a pile of Redhounds. After a short gain on the play.
Colin Ball, Chad Adams, Brian Mulberry getting up.
Colin has played pretty well. I talked with Coach Willard Ferris, one of the assistant coaches before the football game, and he said that Colin was going to try to play, but he thought he was still hampered quite a bit by the tendonitis, but he was going to give it his best effort, and Colin's had a pretty good football game.
Yeah, he's had a couple of nice plays in there tonight. Colin, a big kid.
Colin Ball, of course, number 52 for the Hounds. 3rd down and 15, 4:38 left to go here in the third period of play. Corbin on top 15-8. And Browning is going to throw it over the middle, dropped by Kirby out in the flat. And that's going to bring up a 4th and 15.
Well, Evarts stalled on offense this time, and we haven't seen that a lot tonight, but this time Corbin's defense really plays good. And Corbin's defense has been a little bit tonight, but they haven't broke. They've shown a lot of character. A couple times looked like Everett might go in, but the young Red Hounds on defense really stubbed in there, and I think done a pretty good job.
Yeah, James May, big play on that drive right there as he sacked the quarterback for the loss. That kind of stalled things out, looked like, for Evarts as they were trying to bring it out of the hole. Russell will do the punting. Back to receive for Corbin will be Jason Gooden on the left side, Pat McCowan on the right side. Here's the kick. It's going to be a booming kick fielded by Jason Gooden at the 45-yard line of Evarts. He will go down there, so Corbin has good field position, 1st and 10 on the Evarts 45.
Well, it's a game of field position. Anytime you're in a close game, you always want to play field position, and without question, Corbin came away there with good field position simply because Jason Gooden came up and did a good job catching the football. Had he let that thing bounce, it might have rolled, and pinned him back down here deep, but he did a good job just coming up and catching the ball.
So Corbin will line it up offensively. Once again, 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line of Evarts. So Kuma, Willoughby, and Davis in the backfield. Hand off to Davis. He's got room. He's across the 40, down to the 35, down to the 30, down to the 25, down to the 20. And finally, Kirby knocks him out of bounds as he's down near the 20-yard line.
Pretty doggone good run right there by Kenny Davis. We talked about Scotty Russell and his runs, but Corbin's fullback Kenny Davis has done a good job all year running the football as he did right there on that particular play.
Nice run that time by Ken Davis. He saw the hole, and he hit it, and Corbin is once again threatening. 1st down and 10 for the Red Hounds, and once again, we're down in that gray area. The ball is right around, though, the 20-yard line. Mauser in behind Brinker, set to take the snap. He's going to hand it off to Davis, and another nice hole for Kenny Davis. Closed off pretty quick, though, that time. He hit it hard, but it was closed down by Russell. He gets off the bottom of the pile.
Dave, I'm not sure, but I think those are just some little quick traps in there with Pennington, and, of course, one of the guards trapping some and Smith at the other one. And that's one thing that Corbin does a pretty good job of, is trapping down in there with that offensive line.
And that'll bring up 2nd down and 5 for Corbin. 3.5 left to go here in the 3rd period. Davis in the backfield along now with, looks like, Willoughby. The handoff goes to Davis. He comes across the line hard, but goes down after a gain of about 2. Been a very, very physical football game, and, I think both teams, Burley, have done a good job maybe of restraining their tempers. Anytime you get a football game this physical, which it's not over yet. I mean, something could happen, but so far there have been no incidents.
No, there really hadn't, and you like to see that, And I think part of that's due to the Evarts coaching staff. They're a class bunch over there, and really have turned some things around up here in the mountains.
Pearson Upchurch in tight on the ends. A wishbone in behind Mauser on a 3rd and 3. Handoff goes to Willoughby, and Willoughby is not going to get the 1st down, but we will get a flag on the play. And the initial signal is that the penalty is against the Corbin Red Hounds. They call what, illegal receiver? Is that what they said?
Corbin with
That'd be different.
Corbin with a couple of crucial penalties tonight. Of course, the one that right before halftime ended was crucial without question, because that gave Evarts another chance to get Russell into the end zone. And now this one, is crucial rather than have a possible 1st down. It comes back to 3rd and 8.
Well, illegal motion against the Hounds was a call on that one. That is going to make it 3rd and 8. Ed Pierce to the right side, along with Jason Eastep to the right side. That's the far side of the field. Stephen Upchurch is in tight on the left side, the short side. As Mauser gets set to take the snap, he's rolling back to pass. He's looking for Eastep. Throws it deep in the end zone to him. It will be knocked down and incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down for the Hounds.
But Jason became from an offensive receiver to a defensive player there, as Jody just threw it up and tried to, hopefully that Jason could just go up and get it, and it didn't work out that way as Coach Adams calls for a timeout.
Okay, we got timeout on the field. It's still 15-8. Corbin leads Evarts. 2:25 left to go here in the 3rd period of play. We'll be right back. You're hearing Red Hound football on WCTT T107. I'll tell you what, if we don't score, they'll beat our ass. Beat our butts. I'm eat up with it. 2:25 in the third. Corbin is now facing a 4th down and 8 situation, leading Evarts by a score of 15-8. Recapping the scoring in the game for you, it was 10:36 in the second quarter. Chris Okuma, the 8-yard run for the touchdown. The extra point was good. Corbin led 7-0. At 3:28 in the second, Scott Russell, a 2-yard run. He also got the 2-point conversion, and it was 8-7 Evarts. At 1:04 in the second, Eddie Pierce, a 15-yard pass catch from Mauser, 2-point conversion good. And Corbin leads it 15-8, but they are facing a 4th down and 8 situation. The ball is inside the 20-yard line. Down, as a matter of fact, near the about the 17-yard line. Here's Mauser dropping back to pass over the middle and knocked down. Intended for Stephen Upchurch. Scott Russell was there to knock it away, and that will bring on the Corbin defensive unit, and Evarts will come on with the offense.
Not only did Scott Russell knock that ball away, he used his head there, Dave. Had he caught that football, Evarts would have been pinned down there right about the goal line. But he was heady enough to go ahead and just bat it away, and now they get the ball back out here with a little room.
That looked like about the same play that connected with Eddie Pierce for the touchdown in that second period. Just a different receiver on the end of it, Upchurch.
I think you're right.
Well, Evarts will line it up now offensively. They've got the ball 1st and 10, 2:20 to go here in the third. And like we told you, it's down around the 17, 18-yard line. Handoff goes to Russell, and trying to find some running room, but not much of a hole there for Scott Russell. It's shut down by the Red Hound defense. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Good defense in there by the whole center of that Red Hound line.
3 yards on the carry, and that'll bring up now a 2nd down and 7 for Evarts. Ball is on the 18-yard line, the Evarts 18-yard line. Power eye right looks like in there behind Browning. He's going to give it off to Russell, and Russell has some room this time. He's across the 25 to the 26, 27-yard line. That may be enough for a 1st down. Very close to it. Well, he just bounces off people, runs over people, runs around people, anything to get a few yards.
Brian Mulberry gets up off the bottom of the pile. He's a tough kid to tackle. Dave, we had 3, 4, 5 people hit him that time, and we just didn't tackle him clean.
So that's 1st down for the Evarts Wildcats. And we got an official timeout for an equipment problem on the field, looks like. Well, things starting to cool off here a little bit. We're expecting a low in the area tonight of about 40 degrees around southeastern Kentucky. Going to be a super weekend, though, as far as weather's concerned. Sunny expected for tomorrow and about 70 degrees, and then warming up to maybe 75 or 80 degrees for Sunday. Browning, the quarterback, is set to take the snap. He's going to turn and give it to Kirby. Kirby, 2-3 yards maybe on that play. That'll bring up 2nd down. Just straight up the middle that time to the fullback, Kirby.
Well, you can tell the difference in of course he didn't have a lead block, but you can tell the difference in Russell and the other backs is, when these other backs run the ball, we have time to react and get a lot of people the ball. When Russell gets the ball, it seems like we're just getting there just in time, and I think that's just due to his quickness.
Yeah, he's very quick. Like I think Bill called it deceptively quick was how he has been called. Wide out to the left side is Middleton. Way over there, number 12. That's the far side of the field. Browning's going to pitch it back to Russell. He is at the 30 to the 35. Flags on the play as he is hit and brought down at the 36-yard line.
I thought he might have a chance to go right there, Dave. He had a pretty good wall set up over there, but I believe it's going to be an illegal block on Evarts.
And the flags are against the Evarts Wildcats. So actually, Russell was all the way up to about the 39-yard line, but that's all going to be called back. And going to hurt the field position here for the Wildcats. They were hurt a while ago when the quarterback was sacked by James Mabe, and this time the Wildcats are being hurt by the penalty.
So that's a big break. Anytime we can keep them pinned down, in their own territory, it's a big break because, again, they've had a little success running the ball tonight. But at the same time, we got to give that Corbin defense a credit. They give Russell a few yards, probably right around 120 now. But at the same time, they played pretty doggone good defense, only giving up a touchdown.
Well, like you say, we have been a couple of times, but we've not broken yet. Ball goes all the way back to the 24-yard line, brings up 2nd and about 11 yards, and a little quick pass over the middle on the play action is going to be caught out there by Snelling. Terry Snelling, he is across the 30 up to the 34-yard line.
when you have a good running game and have good backs in there, that's why that play's effective. That was just a play action as they faked a little dive in there and then stood up and threw it to the tight end. And without a good running game, that thing don't work because your linebackers are not coming. They're playing back. But that you got to give their running game credit for setting that play up.
Well, Burley, that's going to be the final play of the third period. So no score in the third, and it remains 15 for Corbin, 8 for the Wildcats of Evarts. We'll be back with quarter number 4. You're hearing Red Hound football on WCTT T107. Yes, ma'am. Okay. It was Whitley 28, Knox Central nothing. Okay. Thank you, dear.
I'd like to make a commercial announcement for North Evarts Elementary School. Fine Elementary School will have their fall festival October the 11th from 6
Yeah, that's fine. I don't ever wear a watch, and I forget them, so just kind of catch them for me if you don't mind. Pretty good coffee to be about 5 hours old. Well, so we start the fourth period. It's 15-8. Corbin on top. Evarts has the football. They're facing a 3rd down and 3. The ball is on the 34-yard line. Double wideouts to the left side. The handoff goes to Russell. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage, but bounces off a couple of people, breaks it across the 35, all the way up to the 37, maybe the 38-yard line, and that's going to be enough for the first down. And we do have flags laying everywhere on the play, though. Right where Russell looked like he was tackled before he came out of that big pile of players and made about 5 more yards.
Coach Adams telling his team to take the penalty, but I think he's going to find out that it was a face guard, face mask, that is.
Yes, it is a face mask, so...
And I thought it was. I did. I thought I saw somebody get a hand in there.
And that's 15-yarder, too, so that's going to move the football from the 38 of Corbin. Well, they're still going with that thing. Got to stop there somewhere, guys. All the way down to the 46-yard line.
Well, that's good field position now here for Evarts. And
so Evarts from their own 38 rather than the Corbin 38. From their own 38 to the Corbin 46-yard line. Yeah, it is good field position. So here we go. The Wildcats lining up now, trailing 15-8, just underway in the fourth and final quarter. Dave King, Burley Foley, Bill Sloan, and Tim Dudley's down on the field side. It's Kirby and Russell in behind. The handoff goes to Russell. Crosses the 45 to the 44. Down there. Only a couple of yards, but I'm telling you, he paid for those 2 right there. The Corbin defense hit him hard that time.
Again, you know, just a host of the guys in there in the middle making the hit. And that's the key, you know, to playing against a good back. You got to get a lot of people to him. And Corbin's done a fair job of that tonight.
Evarts now 2nd and 7, gain of 3 on that play by Russell. It's Turner, Russell, and Kirby in the backfield. Kirby's got it. He's cutting it outside. Can't get out there. Good defense by Corbin. Marcus Fox over there to get him. Also, Jody Mauser playing defense that time over there to make the initial hit, and it was a good hit that time on Brad Kirby as he was trying to get out to the left side that time. He just couldn't get there, so the ball is going to stay on about the 43-yard line.
Nice hit from a pair of sophomores right there, Mauser and Fox, you know. And Jody, as you said, playing defense. A lot of people say, well, you shouldn't play your quarterback on defense. You got to play your best kids you got all the time.
Yeah, in high school football, you got to play the guy that's best at that position and try to win the game. That's what counts. Once again, Turner, Kirby, and Russell in the backfield behind Browning. Going to pitch it back to Russell. He's at the 40. He's dragging people to the 35. He goes down there. And that's going to be enough for another, looks like Evarts first down.
I see another penalty flag back there. I don't know what that's going to be. Must be going to be a late hit.
That was right in the middle of the pack, too. That probably is what that is going to be, Burley. I'd say you're right. That's all it could be, actually.
No, another face mask.
So Corbin called for the face mask penalty again for the second time on this Evarts drive, and they're really helping the Wildcats move the ball down the field with the penalties. Ball is at the 35. This is going to take it all the way down to the 20-yard line.
Coach Adams a little upset with the official right there, but you're not at home.
That's right. Corbin on the Evarts 20-yard line, and with a first down and 10 there with 10:28 left to go in this football game. Corbin on top, 15-8. Browning pitches it back to Russell. He is at the 15. He's across. He's down to the 10. He's bouncing to the outside of the 5 and close to the touchdown. He'll be stopped short of there at about the 2 or 3 yard line. I'm telling you, nobody could get a hand on Scott Russell that time.
Fantastic back. Fantastic.
Is he major college material? Is he big enough? Of course, Mark Higgs is who has the Kentucky State record was not a very big guy, about 5'7" or something.
You know, I think he is, Dave, in certain situations. I don't know that he could be an SEC back to take the pounding all the time. Might be, but in certain situations, yes.
Handoff goes to Russell. Here goes the dive. He's not going to get in there. The Corbin defenders are going to hold him out at about the 1 yard line. Russell that time maybe diving just a bit too quick as he tried to jump in the air and dive over the Corbin defensive line, but he didn't make it. But that'll still bring up only a second down as Evarts knocking on the door, looking to pick up 7 and tie this thing.
Well, should Evarts go ahead and score here, what do you think they'll do? Go for 2 or 1?
I think for 1 probably with this much time left in the football game.
I think they'll go for 2.
Think so? Well, of course, they've not scored yet, but after they score, we'll find out. Browning is the quarterback. He will hand it off to Kirby. Still no official signal if Kirby is in or not. Maybe he's not.
I don't think they're quite as close as we think they are.
I don't know where they're at. They're close. They're close down there somewhere. So that's going to bring up now a 3rd down. And, you know, even the guys running the clock over there can't see because they're not even putting it up on the scoreboard.
Right. I know.
Where the football is out. It's just guess and wait till the official signals one way or the other. But it is 3rd down and short yardage for a touchdown for the Evarts Wildcats. There's Browning. He sneaks it in. The official says yes. It's going to be a 2-yard touchdown run for the quarterback, Browning. Tim Browning, a 6'4", 165-pound junior, gets the touchdown. And it's 15-14, and we'll see what Evarts is going to do.
They're going to kick it.
And we'll go down to the field now with Bill Sloan for the point after. Bill?
Well, I'll tell you what, Dave, right now the Evarts Wildcats have called timeout. They're going to talk this one over. Score in the situation right now, the score of the Redhounds 15, the Evarts Wildcats 14. Do you go for the tie? And the old saying goes, do you kiss your sister, or do you go for the win? 2-point conversion could possibly win this ball game. So Evarts has right now decided to make their, well, they may go onto the sidelines. They're trying to make the decision. They're huddled right now. We'll just have to wait and see, Dave.
Okay, Bill, thanks a lot. That's, like you say, we'll see what they decide in the huddle there. But they are talking it over. Like Bill said, if you of course, a lot of time left. We got 8:47. I don't think, I think I would try to kick it if I had a good kicker. I don't know the status of the Evarts kicker.
Well, you know, personally, if it were me, I'm the underdog. I go for 2 and try to go ahead and hope that I can win the game right here, because if they kick it, it's time. Maybe the last chance they get to win the game.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, Corbin can probably control the football just about 8 minutes. Well, they're going to line it up and go for the 2-point conversion, looks like. Well, here we go. It's 15-14. If they get it in, they take the lead. If Evarts does not get it in, they will trail by a point. Corbin lines things up defensively. And, of course, they're going to try to get the ball to Russell. Probably pitch back to Russell. He is in for the 2-point conversion. Evarts goes on top 16-15. He just ran over a couple of Corbin Redhound players at the goal line. He would not be denied. And Evarts is on top 16-15 with 8:47 left to go here in the 4th and final period of play. We'll be back. You're hearing Redhound football on WCTT T107. They sure did. 16-15, yeah. They're ahead of us. They can't do this. We're supposed to beat them. Well, if you're a Corbin Redhound fan, it's still too early to start feigning or anything like that, but Evarts is on top 16-15 with 8:47 left to go in this football game on the strength of Tim Browning's 2-yard quarterback sneak for the touchdown and Scott Russell on the 2-point conversion run. And it's up to the Redhound offense here, Burley Foley, to try and do something.
Well, they'll have an opportunity to, like you say, to come back here and win the game, but also, you know, Evarts gets the football back again. They're hard to stop.
Here's a kick. Wyatt's got it at the 15, and what's the call?
I don't know.
I don't see any flags, but the official has stopped the play. There might be a flag out there somewhere.
I'm amazed at what's going on here.
Want to kick it over again, I guess, for some reason or another. Well, I don't know. There was not a flag on the play. Offsides against Evarts. Okay, so that's going to be a 5-yarder. That'll move them back to the 35. They'll have to kick from there.
I'm not amazed anymore. It's a penalty.
Now, will this be on the kickoff? Yeah, they'll move it back 5 yards. Okay.
Yes.
Well, like I say, you know, if you're Corbin, you don't want to start feigning. You don't want to get too excited here because there's still 8 minutes and 43 seconds left to go.
One note we would like to bring up right now, Matt Phillips is dressed. He's the field goal kicker here tonight should this thing come down to a field goal.
Which I hope it doesn't, because my heart might stop. And here's the kick. Oh, it's a nice long kick. It's going to be fielded again by Wyatt. He's got it at the 15. Brings it out to the 20. Got blockers at the 25, 30. He's at the 35. He is going to the 40-yard line. Corbin will take it 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Nice return by Michael Wyatt there. Maybe one more inside cut, and he gets to go the distance. But, again, good field position. You have to be satisfied with that.
Well, the Evarts defense will try to hold. The Corbin offense will try to score as Evarts leads 16-15 in a good football game. 8:35 to go here in the 4th and final quarter. We're in Harlan at the Evarts High School football field. I think at the Evarts Elementary School is exactly where we're at. The football field is located there, though. Mauser is going to keep it to the left side, looking for the pitch. Nobody to go to. He cuts it back. He's still cutting, and actually gains about 4 yards out of all that.
I'm going to tell you this. We only picked up 4 yards, David, but you don't realize what a fantastic move Jody Mauser made right there.
He did a triple spin pivot move from the left to the right to keep from getting tackled.
He's going to be a good one.
Hey, 4 yards is a lot better than a loss, that's for sure.
He's going to be a good one.
In the backfield, Willoughby, Davis, Okuma will fill the slot to the left side. Mauser set to take the snap from Brinker. He gives it up to Davis. Davis running hard. He's up to midfield and the first down for the Hounds. So Kenny Davis, well, he may not have the first down. It's going to be right on the line, looks like.
Going to measure here, I think.
Yeah, I think so. That ball looks like it's laying right on the line. We can see that one from here. 7:36, the clock is standing at right now. Corbin down by a point.
Marcus Fox goes in the game, checks in. Now he's coming back out now. I started to say earlier when we've seen him in, they've thrown the football, but he comes back out right now. And Coach Adams is going to make a decision here after he sees if it's a first down.
Well, it is a first down for the Hounds, and a ball right at midfield at about the, well, matter of fact, the nose of the football is laying right on the 50-yard line. So with 7:36 to go, the clock begins to run again, and Corbin with a 1st and 10 at midfield. Trying to get some points on the board, trailing by 1, 16-15. In the backfield, Marcus Fox has checked in there along with Davis and Okuma. Pearson up church the ends in tight. Mauser's back to pass. He's looking. He has got his man. Fox is picked off by Russell. Russell's intercepted. We do have a flag on the play. He's going to take it in to about the 10-yard line, but there are flags on the play. Just hold your horses. A flag has been thrown. It would be in the Corbin backfield. Russell picked off that Jody Mauser pass intended out there for Marcus Fox. It all hinges here on exactly who that penalty was against.
Scott Russell, not only have we seen him play offense, but we've seen him play defense right there.
Well, illegal motion. It was in the Corbin backfield. Illegal motion against the Corbin Redhounds, and of course Evarts is going to decline that. And they're going to have the football way down deep inside Corbin territory. And ladies and gentlemen, now you can start feigning if you want to.
Sweating.
7:07 left to go in this football game. 16-15. Evarts on top.
We knew it would be a battle, and that's just what it's been.
Well, it's been a good football game. The ball is right on about the 20-yard line. So the Corbin defense will need to try to hold here, if at all possible. It's been tough against Scott Russell. He's ran over him most of the night. Handoff goes to Kirby. He's forward for about 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Evarts in no hurry now. They want to run as much of this clock right here as they can and try to take this, take it down for a touchdown. But at the same time, they want to eat the clock. They're in no hurry to score. Should they score?
Second down and 7 for Evarts. 6:45 to go in the football game and counting down. Kirby, Turner, and of course Russell the backfield. He's in on every play. Handoff goes to Russell. He's hit from behind by Shackelford and dropped for a loss on the play of a couple of yards. Scott Russell that time trying to get to the outside, but Chris Shackelford in there on top of him, and that'll bring up now a third down.
Big play by Shackelford right there, and got to have several big plays now as it's 3rd and 8.
Yeah, the defense going to have to hold on this series right here. If they let Evarts in for the touchdown and they can make the extra point, it's not going to look good for Corbin. Wideout goes to the left side. That will be Johnson. Over there for the Gibson, Jay Gibson for the Wildcats. Browning will give it to Russell, and once again there's Shackelford, but he missed him that time, and Russell is going to be in for the touchdown. Well, I'll tell you, Chris Shackelford put a good hit on Scott Russell in the backfield, but he just ran right on by him, just shook it off, and then ran through the Corbin defense in for the touchdown. And it's now 22-15. Evarts on top by 7.
Well, I think they're going to try to kick it right here, and that'll make it 8, or they may go for the 2 right here.
Well, we'll wait and see on that. Scott Russell, though, takes it in from about 16 yards out.
Maybe that was just one thing wrong right there. That was just poor tackling on behalf of Corbin.
Well, it was. Shackelford had him in the backfield that time, and Russell, he's just a handful to bring down. And looks like the Wildcats have called for the timeout, so we'll just keep it here. So Evarts leading by 7. If they get the extra point, they go on top by 8.
Well, I think they'll probably go for 2 right here.
I think so, because Corbin could tie with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. But we'll wait and see.
Without a doubt, Corbin's offense is really up against the wall, even though there is 5:48 to go right here. But the one thing you got to keep in mind, should they go ahead and be able to put a touchdown in and still be behind,
they're going to kick it.
Evarts is playing ball control.
Curry is on for the kick, and we'll just keep it and call it from up here. And we got movement on the line, and Corbin looks like maybe jumped off sides that time again. And that's going to once again put the football back about on the 1-yard line, and here comes the offense on for Evarts. They'll definitely go for 2 here.
Well, we were our own worst enemy right there.
Well, we were on that on the drive before this one, too, on the touchdown. 2 face masks on that one drive. Didn't help the effort out any at all on the defense's part. So Evarts will change their mind. Instead of going for 1, they're going to go for 2. The ball, like we say, will be moved down to about, it's about the 1.5-yard line or something like that, 1.25-yard line or whatever. Well, let's see what the Corbin defense can do here. It's really hard to keep Scott Russell out from that distance, and you just about know he's going to get the football. See if they try somebody else this time, though. Browning ready for the snap. He gives it off to Russell, and he's in there, no problem whatsoever. So Scott Russell gives Evarts 2, and they lead Corbin by 9, 24-15, with 5 minutes and 48 seconds left to go in the football game. We'll be back. You're hearing Red Hound Football on WCTT T107. Yes, ma'am. Huh? 4-15. God almighty, we're beat. We are beat. Well, the Wildcats of Evarts looking for the upset here, and well, looking like they may be able to get it. 24-15, leading Corbin by 9 with 5:48 to go in the game. And it's been, I'm telling you, it's been Russell. Here's the kick. It's going to be fielded by Wyatt at the 15, up to the 20, to the 30, to the 35, and rolled back to about the 33-yard line. Corbin will take it 1st and 10 there.
Well, Corbin's going to have to put the football in the air here. Of course, Jody threw an interception last time out, but, you know, I think he's the type of kid that has the character to come back and not let that bother him. Even though he's a sophomore, I feel like he can come back and put together a pretty good drive here.
And who made the interception?
Scotty Russell.
I'm telling you, he's
Evarts?
done it all.
Scotty Russell.
Yes, he pretty well has carried his football team on his back tonight and done a good job of it. Even though, like Burley pointed out a few times, the offensive line he's ran behind has done a good job tonight. Corbin sends Pierce and Marcus Fox wide out to the right side. I formation in the backfield, Davis and Willoughby. Mauser's back to pass. He's looking. He might have his man Pierce. Overthrows him. Overthrew him at about the midfield stripe there. Ball kind of sailed right before it got to Ed, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Ball was thrown just a little bit high that time. Eddie got his hands on it. Just unfortunate thing.
Well, these two teams haven't played, I think they were telling me, since 1983. And I don't know when or if Evarts has beaten Corbin in the past. But certainly the Evarts crowd can smell the upset coming here. Mauser with a split in the backfield, takes a snap. He's rolling back, getting lots of pressure, lets it fly over the middle, and it's overthrown again, that time intended again for Eddie Pierce. And Jody Mauser really got decked just as he let that football go. But he's up, 3rd and 10.
Looked like the same pattern that they ran before that they felt like Pierce was open on. This time, a pretty good coverage by Evarts.
And like we say, Jody Mauser paid for that one after he let it go. He really got hit hard by the Wildcats. 5:06 to go in the football game. Big 3rd down play, 3rd and 10. Corbin, of course, with a couple of tries to get 10 yards and get a 1st down and try to get some life going here. But, you trail by 9 points with 5 minutes to go. It's going to be a tough row to hoe. Here's Mauser dropping back to pass again. He's got time. He throws it out, and it's going to be dropped by Eddie Pierce that time. Dropped right at the 1st down marker. That'll bring up 4th and 10 for Corbin.
Eddie had enough for the 1st down that time. He just dropped the football.
Maybe looking down after that 1st down marker there to see where he was at before he stepped out of bounds with the football, and he winds up dropping it.
4th down here, and Coach Adams going to go for it, and I think you've got to with 4:59 to go here. I think, you punt it away, and the way they're running the football, they'll just eat the clock up.
Yeah, the ball's on the 35. I'd have to agree. Even though it may give Evarts a chance to put more points on the board here late, it's still something that you have to do. 4th and 10 for the Hounds. Definitely the Dogs with their backs up to the wall here. Mauser looking. He's got his man Fox short of the 1st down. Hit hard by Scott Russell on the coverage that time. Takes him, as a matter of fact, all the way back to about the line of scrimmage, and that's going to give the football over to Evarts at the 36-yard line.
That time Jody threw the ball short of the 1st down marker, and I know if he had it back, he would like to have thrown it a little more for the 1st down, because Russell really was right there with Marcus Fox.
Well, only 4:51 left to go, and I don't want to be an alarmist here, but things not looking good for Corbin, trailing by 9 points, and Evarts has the football, and they also have it on the Corbin 36-yard line.
Well, one thing Corbin's really got to do here, Dave, they got to concentrate on keeping Evarts out of the end zone again, because Scotty Russell could go one more time.
Browning has his wishbone lined up behind him, going to give it off to Kirby. Kirby 2 yards straight forward, hit and brought down. Across to the 35, down to the 34-yard line.
Evarts with the players shaking up, but looks like he's going to get back to the huddle and be okay. It's a big win for Evarts, maybe one of the biggest ever in the history of their school. They've of course, won 16 out of their last 18 games, I think. And without a doubt, well, they haven't won yet. Let me say it's not a big win yet, but they're in the driver's seat to win this football game. A turnover maybe. Corbin could come back, but that's not likely the way they've played the football game to this point.
And I would be inclined to agree, as Browning in behind and flag thrown on the play. Thrown in the Corbin defensive backfield, but it's going to be delay of game. Took too long that time for the Evarts Wildcats, so that'll be a 5-yard penalty.
Well, they're going to try to play as much clock as they can right here and just, eat it down. And so they're going to say, if you do get the ball back, you're not going to have a lot of time to beat me with it.
Well, the Evarts Wildcats, single-A football team. They had a fantastic team last year. We're in the playoffs before being beaten.
Two things can happen here. This can be one of the biggest wins in history for the Evarts High School, or this could be one of the greatest comebacks ever in Corbin High School history.
That's right. It's going to be one of two. You're right about that. And it's just, if you've seen as many football games as me and you have, it just doesn't happen too often for a team to come back being down by 9 with 4 minutes to go. Handoff to Russell, or rather to Kirby. Seems like Russell's getting the rest on these series of downs.
He deserves a rest. I don't know, does Bill have any totals on him right now?
I don't know. Let's go down to Bill Sloan down at field side. Bill, do you have your stat man handy there? Maybe you can tell us something about Scott Russell.
Well, Dave, right now it's kind of one of those situations where you just kind of keep a running tab, more or less. We'll give you a total in just a few moments.
Okay, thanks. Russell playing the left halfback. He takes the handoff, counter play to the right side, and he's got some room. He's down to the 30, down to the 27-yard line, and finally hit and drove out of bounds there. And that may be enough for the Evarts first down.
Now, gee whiz, I thought he got out of bounds over there. And they've been running the clock. Not to make excuses now, but was he not out of bounds?
Well, we need every second we can get.
Right. I mean, you either are or you're not.
Only 2:34 left to go. Evarts on top here by 9, 24-15. They're going to bring the chains over to measure this one. It's all academic now. The Corbin Redhounds will lose their second straight game and fall to 3-2 for the football season. Beaten last Friday night by Glasgow 26-21, and well, really out-finessed, I guess you would say, by Glasgow. And in this football game, they've just been less physical than Evarts. Evarts has been the more physical football team, especially Scott Russell, and Corbin has not done the things they've needed to do to tackle him and bring him down.
No, really, we just, again, Evarts a pretty good football team, Dave. Like you say, they won 16 out of their last 18, and if you got to sum it up, you just got to sum it up to we just couldn't tackle him.
Going to be short of the first down, looks like, but not by much. 4th and 1.
That'll work in their favor there, being short of the first down a little bit, because they'll pick it up right here, most likely, and then that'll eat some more clock. Unless we can come up with a big play.
4th and 1 for Evarts with 2:34 showing on the game clock. Browning's going to hand it off to Kirby, and Kirby is going to have enough for the first down. That'll be 1st and 10 now for the Wildcats of Evarts. Well, Burley, if you're Coach Cotton Adams and the Corbin coaching staff, do you start to get worried maybe a little bit here about your football team? You lost 2 games in a row?
Well, when you play the kind of schedule they play, you're going to have some losses. But to lose 2 back-to-back, I think, you've got to ask yourself some questions. Well, what do we got to do to improve a little bit? And it's a long season. Corbin's been playing a lot of people, playing a lot of young people. And you got to go back to the drawing board and maybe look at the fundamentals, here tonight. And this is, of course, just my philosophy, not necessarily anybody else's. But you got to look at what we're doing fundamentally.
Evarts on the first down play, just trying to run the clock out here down. Now we're down to 1:50 to go. Coach Cotton Adams still coaching hard from the sideline. He will call for the timeout, so we're going to take a break. Timeout, 1:43 left to go in the football game. Evarts 24, Corbin 15. We'll be back. You're hearing Red Hound football on WCTT T107. What'd you say, Bill? Okay, hold on just a second, Beth. What have you got, Bill? Lay him on me. You want me to come down to you? Just hold on to him. Okay, Beth, go ahead. Okay, yeah, we don't have time. 1:43 to go in the football game. It's 24-15. Evarts leading the Corbin Red Hounds, and let's go down to the field side now for Bill Sloan. Bill, you got us some tabs, you say, on Scott Russell?
night. He's had a just fantastic night, 32 carries for over 160 yards, one big interception, I don't know how many touchdowns. Just playing the great outside linebacker. I actually think he took money up for the Marshall Dimes at halftime also. Fantastic kid.
Thank you very much, Bill. He has had an outstanding football game. And Evarts on the second down play. I said, not wanting yardage now. That's not what Evarts wants. They want to run some time off the clock.
No, you know, and I'll tell you, if I'm in Evarts' position right here, I'm not going to take another handoff. I'm going to go ahead and let the quarterback just get down on it.
And Coach Con Adams will call another timeout for the Redhounds. I'll tell you what, we're going to take a break here during this timeout and try to round some scores up for some other games around Southeast Kentucky. We'll be right back. You're hearing Redhound football on WCTT T107. Just give me a minute on this one while you give me those scores. Okay. Thank you very much. I don't want to go home. Well, a bit late getting back on that, but on the third down play, Scott Russell has scored another touchdown for the Wildcats of Evarts. And the Evarts Wildcats go on top here now by a score of 30-15.
Well, you can look at it a lot of ways, but that simply was just, you know, we got whipped up there on the right side as he went nearly untouched into the end zone.
Yeah, nobody even actually laid a hand on him that time as he just took it on in. And the place kicker on for the point after here to try to add another point on. 30-15, Evarts leads it by 15 points. Only 1:21 left to go in the football game. Here is the kick. It is up. It looks good. And it is. So it's 31-15. Evarts on top of Corbin with 1 minute and 21 seconds left to go. We'll take another break. We'll be right back. You're hearing Redhound football on WCTT T107. Well. Well, the score here, 31-15. Evarts on top. Elsewhere around Southeast Kentucky, Cumberland has defeated Williamsburg 38-0. Whitley County has defeated Knox Central 28-0. And late in the football game, it's Bell County 21 and Middlesboro 6. Once again here, Scott Russell has scored again, and Evarts leads 31-15. Here's a booming kick, going to be filled by Jason East up at the 10. Cutting it out to the right side, looking for some blockers, but nobody's there to block for him, and he'll go down at about the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 there for the Corbin Redhounds.
Well, Corbin's going to have one last chance to put some points on the board, so with 1:13 to go, you know, you can look at this thing a lot of ways, David, but the way I see it is Evarts just simply outplayed us. They were more physical than us. We just didn't tackle well defensively, I feel like, and Scotty Russell is an outstanding football player.
Well, we just have the numbers. Like Bill Sloan said before, he made that run a while ago. He was over 160 yards already, so he's had one of his biggest games of the year here. Mauser's back to pass. Looks, throws it out to the left sideline to Pierce. He catches the football and goes out of bounds up at about the 32-yard line.
Corbin in definitely a hurry-up offense right now.
Yeah, they are. That was not enough for the first down, I don't think. Maybe Well, now they motion, yeah, go ahead and move the chain. So it was enough for the first down that time for Eddie Pierce. And brings up another 1st and 10 for Corbin. Under a minute to go, only 55 seconds. This is Evarts' football game, but the Hounds can maybe put something else on the board here if we'll hurry. I formation in behind Mauser, back to pass. He looks, throws it once again to Pierce, overthrew him that time, out of bounds, and then bring up 2nd and 10.
Jody just a little bit off tonight. He's throwing the ball a little bit high right now, and part of that probably because he's probably a little bit hyper in there. You know, it's again, it's big football game for Jody, and they're all big for you when you're a sophomore.